So after what felt like forever, the biggest event in rollerblading is back. And that event is Winterclash, and it was a massive success once again, and I do not have the words to express how great the whole event was. We were lucky enough this year to have it streamed, hosted on Ricardo Lino's channel with multiple angles, and this stream peaked with over 3,000 viewers, which actually beat out the Skateboarding Olympics qualification stream, which happened at the same time, showing the overall health and great energy that is in rollerblading right now. There was a whole lot of great skating, great moments, and new product launches that I want to quickly run you through if you weren't lucky enough to be there like me. But I wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't for my Blade News correspondents, patrons, members, and Twitch subs. So I want to give a huge thank you to them. But without wasting any more time, let's get into the first event of Winterclash that was streamed, and that is the Hanglosers Super Bowl. This event was almost not live streamed. It was a last minute decision by Ricardo Lino to do it, and I really appreciate him doing it because it was a great watch and a great thing to see. It really got the energy ready for the main event. There was some really good tricks happening. A standout people for me was Levy doing some crazy hammers in there, but it ultimately came down to Divey and Joe battling it out on this massive transfer on the rail here. I'm pretty sure Joe went for it first and Divey kind of snuck away to steal it, and Divey ended up actually somewhat landing it with a few kind of like weird roof grabs, but he got it in the end. I really wanted to see Joe come away with this frontside Royale blind jump back in, but sadly he didn't get it. The standout trick overall from this event though for me was Divey's ridiculous 540 alley-oop soul stall here. Like, this is absolutely insane. He had one jump in it before where he oversent it and then got 10 times more speed and landed that shit first try. So clean. I'll never understand that. Super dope. Divey ended up coming away with the win, winning 100 beers, and it makes sense to me. You see him shredding this bowl. He's unstoppable, man. He stands out. Congrats to him. Moving on to the next day with the main event, we have the junior finals, and I was very proud and happy to see a lot of friends of the show in here getting places. With third place was Blader Jacob, my main man, doing one of his typical perfect old school fish brains as his final trick, and overall just great skating throughout the park. Following him was my other main man, Liam here. Liam Gratwohl. Gratwohl. I'm sorry, Liam. But he showed off this insanely clean front flip here, which I couldn't believe, and that was his final run. He's the flip lord, super steezy, great dude, really proud of him. But coming out with first place was another friend of the show, Fabian. Fabian had the sickest fit of the night for sure, and this is a standout clip for me. He did a Hurricane top acid up this ledge, and it was almost like a Hurricane fish pretty much. But overall, he skated so well in the whole entire event, just really standing out, and just really technical skater, and it was hyped to see him come out with the dub. Moving on to the amateur finals, a standout clip for me was Lauric here, was the first person I saw to get the entire rainbow rail here. I don't know if he was the first one. It's the first one I saw on the stream. I didn't watch the whole stream, but I saw a lot of people attempt this rainbow rail, and not many people got it. That includes pros, which shows this is an extremely difficult obstacle that's very unique to the park, and I was hyped to see Lauric take it away so clean like that. Nice to see. But coming away with third place in the amateurs was Justas. I'm probably saying that wrong. I apologize, man. Justas absolutely shredded through his whole heat. Ended up with this ender here where he does this very nice backslide to soul. A really weird, hard switch up to do through a kink like that. And he absolutely laced it and was cool to see. Coming away with second place was Ren here with this picture perfect true Mizu to top acid. All step arounding him so clean. First try, showing everyone up in the finals. Another dude that absolutely killed it throughout his whole run. Massive congrats to him. And the winner of the amateur Winterclash Finals 2023 was Victor here, and this was his final trick, just a casual full cab Savannah like it was nothing, man. First try, no sweat after the craziest heat, super impressive. Massive congrats to him as well as all the other finalists. Well, let's keep the ball moving on to the women's now. A standout clips from the women's finals here was this front flip to Fakie on the vert. I don't know who this skater, this bladey is. I apologize. Please someone tell me. But this was the coolest thing I've seen in ages, man. It's a trick I always bust out if I'm playing like aggressive inline or something, the video game. I've never seen it in person, so it's definitely a real one, and I'm absolutely hyped. A great clip. But coming away with third place, we had Armelle with the cleanest runs, man. One of my favorite skaters from any of the heats. Just super solid tricks, very nice stylish skating, everything very controlled and nice looking. And damn, it makes those aims look sick, man. Look at that Nugan to soul like it was nothing. So nice. This is like tricks that speak to me, man. Massive congrats to her. Second place went to Chihiro with a crazy ender. Here's her final trick here. Once again, first try, super steezy, sweaty to true Miz, right in front of the Yandrials, and just one of the best enders to a final trick ever. So clean. And finally, the winner of the Women's Winterclash 2023 was Daniela. Here was her final trick, just a sweetie to True Miz on the blue grindhouse box. Super clean, very nice. She had an insane run, and you got to realize that she took this bail in the start of her heat. This bail here, this was definitely the worst bail I saw in the stream. It looked so bad, man. She just full face slammed the ground. It was very scary. But look how quickly she gets back up, man, with full energy and goes on to win the competition. Massive congrats to her and all the other women. It was great to see them absolutely kill it at this event. Moving on to the pro finals, we had Jaro coming away with 3rd place. He was skating so clean and absolutely killing it through his whole entire heat, and it was so nice to watch. Massive congrats to him with 3rd place. Just beating him out though was Mr. Joe Atkinson. Here's his ender trick here, which is absolutely insane. He like dropped them from the roof or some shit to do a wall plant. Huge air over the spine to this massive wall plant. Like, it takes you right back to the Winterclash that he won with the like vert riding, you know, very cool stuff. Wasn't the best clip from Joe Atkinson though. We'll come back to that, because the winner of Winterclash 2023, the pros, was Julien Cudot with this line here, backslide to top sole to some kind of like flare out, like a flat spin out, I don't know, some kind of flip. Absolutely insane. Typical Julien Cudot stuff. It's kind of unreal how easily he can flip out of tricks. Massive congrats to him though. He skated so well. It's like, if you've seen his rolling in the deep, that's what I'm going to call it, VOD, you understand why he won this comp, you know. He's an exceptionally good skater. Massive congrats to him. There was a couple more categories though. We had the Faction Skates Best Trick, which actually went to our man Joe Atkinson. And this is definitely my favorite clip from the night, man. The crowd went absolutely wild. Frontside backslide around the curved rainbow rail uphill. The one that almost no one had managed to hit the whole thing of yet. Joe Atkinson went up and hit it 1 foot. Clip of the night, the crowd went wild. That's the one that people are going to remember from this year, I think. But then we also had I Roll New York most creative trick, which actually went to Yuto Goto, and it was this one here. It was a 270 backslide to sweat stance on the Did rail, named by Biz. Great name, great rail, cool obstacle too. Actually not sure if that was the most creative clip, but that's my best leading source at this point, so feel free to correct me. But shout out to Yuto Goto, and massive congrats to all the people who made it through there. It was another great event, all thanks to these skaters. This was an insanely competitive night with all the best bladers in the world being there. There was so many names there that I have no idea how the judges narrowed this down. Sadly, there was a few injuries too. We lost some of our favorite skaters to injuries in the heats and the warm-ups. There was one point in the stream where you can hear the Rosie's team manager talking about the fact that Bobby hit his head really hard, like real bad, and fainted and was dizzy and felt sick right before his run, but still decided to compete, which was very scary to hear, and nothing, you really don't want to hear it. But when you see him skate, he absolutely killed it. He was like absolutely destroying it with all his spins, a bunch of 900s on the ramp, some crazy tricks. It really didn't look like he was out of it at all. Very impressive. A lot of it, not much of it was caught on camera here though. I couldn't really find any highlights, but you can tell, but by the end of his run, how bad he was feeling. He just lying on the ground at the end. This got called out on the Rolling Facebook page, talking about, you know, how we're all grown-ups here and he should have gone to the hospital. Bobby did actually respond to that too, which is good. Kind of saying he didn't really understand. He's never hit his head like that, and he didn't know how bad it was. And that, yeah, in the future, he definitely wouldn't do that, which is good to see. He is an adult, you know, he's going to do what he wants. But I definitely was disappointed to see, you know, a team manager let someone with a head injury go out and skate and in the heats of Winterclash. It's like, dude, if you hit your head again, man, no one wants to see you get more hurt probably. But overall, you know, I'm glad he sees it like that, and I am glad I got to see him skate. He absolutely killed it, man. I'll leave a link to the full results from everyone that's not just the top 3 in the description posted by Winterclash. Massive thank you to Winterclash for actually posting them quick enough for me to be confident in the results I found. That's not the only notable things though. There was a bunch of other notable events from the stream that I want to bring your attention to. The first one being Jon Julio. See how he's got the beanie under the helmet like that? And it's like, what's he hiding under that helmet, man? I think he's got some kind of performance enhancing thing under that helmet, man. If he won the Winterclash this year, we definitely need to look into that. But I love this clip here of Biz Alex Broskow just all digging into Jon Julio for this helmet combo here. It's a great spot and a great moment of the stream. My other favorite moment from the stream though is definitely this one here with Nick Lomax. Right at the end while we're waiting for the results of the stream, Lena runs into a somewhat drunk sounding Nick Lomax, where he talks about kind of the mindset he was in and why he wasn't really skating.
I went to bed last night at 10 p.m. I woke up today at 9 a.m. and I felt incredible. I come down to the skate park and I start warming up, and I see people doing way better tricks than mine, and man, does that put me off.
And it ends up leading to him trying to get Montre to do some tricks. And Montre misses, you're hearing this right, he missed 4 out of 5 top soles when he tried them.
Here he goes. Top sole. Shit bag. What a shit bag. Guys, I am here live with Montre Livingston that cannot top sole the boat.
And if that doesn't give you confidence that you're a good skater, even if you miss tricks, then anything should. Because Montre's the fucking man. And this is a really good clip and a great highlight. Shout out to Nick Lomax for being a bit vulnerable. It was nice to hear. I find it inspiring myself. Hopefully it inspires you guys too. Let's keep the ball moving. There's a whole lot of new products that came out. We'll start off with the skates. They're all just new colorways, but I'll show you off. But first, massive thank you to Leah Olderblader here. She definitely followed them. They're the only person I found that actually went out and got good details and photos of everything at the trade show, which it really helped me out here. Massive props. Definitely go follow them for more stuff like that. First one we're going to talk about is the most hated, loved brand, Razors. They dropped a new Shima, the Shima 3, a beautiful white skate here. And it actually got Brian Shima back on skates again. We got some clips from him, and it's very nice to see. We love Shima. And this skate looks so good. I think they did a good job with it, mostly because this one is actually skatable how it's sold. You see it's got a decent flat frame here. It doesn't have the weird fake old big liner. Like, it looks like a much more well-rounded skate. And definitely worth a cop if you love Razors. But fuck Razors, you know. But anyway, moving on from that though, Leah got hands-on with the new not so extra small shell. You can see here it's a 3D printed mold for it, I'm assuming. And yeah, it just looks like a theme skate to me, but get hyped. It was there. Hope you got to touch it. And then one of the skaters that got screwed by Razors finally got the pro skate he deserves, and that's Jon From. He got this beautiful white pro skate from Adapt brand. Massive shout out to Adapt for hooking up the homie. You can tell how much this means to him, and I'm so happy this finally happened. Jon is a great dude and a great skater, and this has been a long time coming, and it's so freaking deserved, and it looks so beautiful. It's one of the best looking Adapt skates I've ever seen. I love the From with the palm tree on the back. There's a really great edit that came out with this, which I definitely recommend. I'll link that in the description too. It was filmed by Travis, Mr. Blader Union. Massive props to them. Overall, really good vibes. It comes with this pro setup too. You don't see that much. It comes with a 50/50 frame as well as his red eye wheels. His whole pro setup. Actually how he'll skate the skate. And then we're breaking records with the most expensive aggressive skate ever made as far as I know. And that is the new Simcroft Super Veloci? I'm definitely saying that wrong. I'm sorry, Adapt. But this is beautiful freaking Ferrari looking race car aggressive skate pro skate for Simcroft, which looks so premium and so nice in every single way. Imagine owning that thing, man. It'd be such a flex. I can't imagine skating it though. I'm seeing a few things on it and I'm like, this is a skate that you hang up on the wall, man. But Sim was skating it and absolutely killing it, and I'm glad that it's possible to make an extremely premium handmade skate. They also released this new like sole plate for wizard skating on their Adapt skates, which makes sense as a nice little addition. It's a type of 3D printing SLS, which is super expensive I hear. But it's a good idea. It means you don't have to have the sole plate on the Adapt skates to do some wizard skating, and you don't have the exposed bottom of the boot, which looks a little kind of scruffy, you know. So a good addition to the team and some good stuff coming from Adapt there. We're not done there. There's a whole lot more innovation hanging there. Here is the pro skate you've already seen for Shredpool. Super dope. So proud of him. Another dude that really deserves it, and I'm hyped to see a beautiful skate made from like this. Fraction was at Winterclash at the trade pool with a bunch of new products. They had this new blue colorway version of the Faction skate, which is actually a raised heel boot, which is kind of strange. I think the plan for it is to be a big wheel skate, and that looks like a great urban big wheel skate right there. It looks so nice without the sole plate, man. I could see that taking off quite well, and I do really like this blue colorway, man. It looks very nice. But overall, yeah, they had a booth there with some new skates, and this is a company I'm very excited for the future, and they got some cool products there. And I hope I get the chance to try them out one day. Another new skate to come out was the new Icon 10s in this white colorway, which looks beautiful, man. It really outlines the craft and the design of the skate a lot more, having it not all black, I think. This is another premium great skate, and I'm hyped to see. But Icon really does seem to be picking up the pace here with some more great products finally coming out, including the return of a Solomon boot. We had this leak a long time ago. We could kind of work it out from the silhouette, but it is finally here. It's a Solomon, but it's a big wheel skate, which I think is kind of missing the mark. I think if this came out as an aggressive skate, it would be such a top seller. It comes out and it does feature the bottom of the boot is riveted, but I've been told that that's just how the boot is made. It's not like it's got a riveted on sole plate. It's just UFS, so you could definitely, make a sole plate for that and bring it back as an aggressive skate. But as of right now, they are only selling it as a big wheel setup. So I guess only time will tell. Now, the new product from Icon that I am really excited for is this new frame they made with Justin Thursday, one of my favorite frame designers or designers in general for rollerblading. They teamed up with him to pretty much make the Justin Thursday TR, the Prime Walls that I skated, man. It looks identical, and it has these sick little inserts, if you can see. I think Leah's got a good shot for us. There's little inserts in the top, so you can change the color of the logo on this to anything you want. And he's talking about the fact that someone should put some little LEDs in it. I think that's such a good idea. You can have a little glowing part of the frame. Can you imagine? That's so sick. But yeah, overall, I'm so happy to see a big company in blading work with such a talented designer and bring his 3D printed frames to life as a real product. And I have to say, this is the most excited for an Icon aggressive product I've seen. I think it's a move in the right direction. I'm hyped to see it. And to keep the excitement even more building, Kaiser has been cooking some crazy stuff behind the scenes, coming out with 3 new frames that are all very innovative. First off is this plastic sole frame here. It's something that I've wanted to see for the longest time. I feel like it makes so much sense. Skip UFS and just have a sole frame that connects to the sole plates. But sadly, this is not that. This is UFS still, so it's not quite what I imagined. It makes sense to me though. It's hard to be compatible with every skate. It's not, the dream isn't real. But it's just pretty much a plastic version of the metal frame that's already been out. There is pictures of it on a skate. Here it is on the USD carbons here. It looks kind of weird, it looks kind of Frankenstein-y. Like, to me, there's like not enough in the front here, too much in the back. But yeah, I think it's a great idea. You notice that all the wheels have these slots like this, and that's got to do with a frame we'll talk about from them at the end after this next one. But it's either got to do with rockering, I can't really tell without being there, or this suspension frame at the end. We'll get to that. But anyway, the other frame that they released is called the Shift frame. Was it what it's called? The Shift Unlimited Kaiser. Now, the deal with this frame is it's supposed to be an everything frame. It has a replaceable H block, which you can switch out for a plastic one, but there's also a flat one, a freestyle one, and an anti-rocker one. And they've all been tailored to fit that kind of skating. It's not like a frame we'll talk about later, which trying to be the best at everything. This one can be modified to be good at every single type of skating, which is very impressive. And that's why you see the wheel wells too, how you can tell it's got a big slot. It's to rocker the different types of wheels you can put in it. The stats are, they were written on here. For flat, you can ride up to 60 mil wheels, but you can also ride 55 flat. For freestyle, you can do 65 mil wheels, which is that's just like the perfect frame right there. It's going to fit so many niches. I hope it doesn't have too many parts, and doesn't get too heavy and doesn't get too kind of complicated. But yeah, it's a great frame once again. Super excited for it. Now here's the main show right here. We have a new suspension frame coming from Kaiser. What is the name of it? It's literally just called the suspension frame, I guess. But I was under the wrong impression about this. If you look at it, it looks a lot like the CRS frame from Create Originals that I skated back in the day and was extremely disappointed in. Hearing it firsthand from Austin Paz, shout out to iRollerboot and Austin Paz for talking about this live, otherwise I would have no idea. This is a very different format of suspension frame. The way it works is you see there's like a bolt here. These act like a seesaw, if that makes sense. And apparently it's super soft. So to describe it, each set of 2 wheels is on like a pivot point, and they can move independently of the frame like this, which is meant to give you more contact with the ground through transition, instead of your wheels kind of coming off on the curve. That will like bend to the curve, and even on the hump as well, it'll curve the other way, which should give you more traction, I guess, but it won't give you any suspension or shock absorption on big drop. Actually, correction here, shout out to the Rollerblading Facebook group, because apparently Austin Paz is wrong about this. Everyone's calling it out here. But yeah, apparently this is not like a seesaw. It's more like this demonstration right here. It's like there's a spring in the middle, and they kind of pinch together. Austin Paz said that he's saying here that he had it in person, did not kind of feel like that. But yeah, this is a frame design that's already existed for like 12 years or so in hockey, I guess, because there's a video down here someone linked. This one here. This is 12 years old, I think. 13 years old, sorry, 13 years. And it has the same technology to it, if you can see. Where he showed it there. See, they're like pinched together. You know, it's a good idea. I'm still excited to see what this is. It sounds better than the way it was described first, so I'm kind of glad to hear that. I just don't really get it fully, but, you know, and apparently the reason it was so soft too was because it had a really soft sponge in it to show how it works at the day. Very interesting idea. I'd love to see how it works out in reality. I'd love to see the innovation. This is super exciting. And surprisingly, you might be looking at all this metal and thinking this is a very heavy frame, but according to Leah here, they're not that heavy. And even Austin says as well, is that he picks them up, they feel like a pretty standard flat setup. So that sounds very, very interesting and good. And I would love to try them out, man. I hope I can pull some strings. Moving on, we have the new frame coming out from Rosie's that a lot of people, I had multiple people tell me they're super excited for, and I really don't get it. I agree here with what Leah's saying, where he's mentioning that this is a frame that kind of is trying to please everyone, but in return pleases no one. It's a flat frame with zero wheel bar protection. And because it's trying to be a flat frame, you know, it's got a weird groove for anti-rocker. Definitely would be better for anti-rocker, but overall, I'm pretty disappointed in this. I think it would have been much better for them to make a flat frame. I am a flat skater, so I'm pretty biased about that. But, you know, you can always skate the other frame they have anti-rocker. Moving on, this is stuff kind of outside. It launched around Winterclash, but it's not Winterclash related, really. We have a whole new Childhood Part 2 line from Red Eye here with a bunch of pro wheels for all our favorite skaters, inspired by their childhood, you know, and stuff from their childhood. Great to see. Another thing I'm so hyped for is the fact that Michael Witzman got announced as a pro skater for USD finally. This felt like a long time coming, and I'm so hyped for it. It feels so right. This dude has been, I've heard so many people talk about his style and his way of skating. People absolutely love him right now, and it makes so much sense for him to be put on the pro team, and I'm so proud of him. Massive congrats to him, and I look forward to his pro skate. Speaking of Michael Witzman, if you know him, you know that he skates one of the best flat frames in the world. At least I assume that. I haven't got to skate it. I really want to skate it. That's a frame by Entente Goods. It's called the Dairy Dairy. Well, they just announced that at Winterclash, they are making the frame called the Lauric Picard. I love these names, man. They're so good. But it's an anti-rocker frame. They've dived into making a good anti-rocker frame for the anti-rocker skaters out there, which is good. I mean, I think that's a lot easier to do, so I don't think it would be as much of a risk, but this is extremely high quality, well built, one of the best flat frames in the world, so surely this is going to be great as well, right? And make sure you use the Witzman code at checkout. It's not a code, it's like an option, so that he gets a splashback from that. And then all my fellow flat skaters are going to be hyped on the fact that Dead has introduced a tiny wheel, the 56mm flat top wheel coming out in 2023. It's the classic 58mm shaved down. Looks very nice. It'll be good to try out. Another clean design. Dead, one of the best wheel companies in the world. It's cool to see them innovating still too. Speaking of really cool new wheels though as well, we got these incredibly well done wheels by this new brand from Australia run by Ramp and Skate Shop called Elusive Brand. I actually have some of them here. Not only are these some sick looking wheels and wax, like that's literally wax. There's a tape recorder. I've got it. It's so sick. But they've also got some really good packaging, which is not showing up on my green screen, which could be a problem. This is yellow, not green, by the way. But it's a sick little Subway. I'll get some footage for it for you. And yeah, they're really diving into the packaging. It's going to be great collector's items, and they're a great wheel. Stay tuned here. I'll be skating them, trying them out, let you know what to think. But I'm hyped for this brand. They have some great wheels, as well as some bearings, and some shirts and a bunch of wax and great stuff overall. It's a really cool company run by a really good dude. You should definitely check it out if you're looking for new wheels. We're starting to collect, similar to the Conjure brand vibes. This is really going to be it. Definitely check it out. And speaking of other friends of the show with great products, Jaro Vlog has been making some handmade leather straps for skates that look so clean and nice. He did the best test for them I've ever seen in my life. I don't follow him. What the hell? I don't follow him. What a fake ass fan. Anyway, he took his new straps to a tree to test if the Velcro was strong enough. He hung himself from a tree. I'm looking at this footage, dude. It looks like he's so high up in the air. It's like here, this is the top of a tree right here. He could be like 10 foot in the air right now, dude. And he's hanging from this. I won't spoil this video though, but he's hanging from the straps to show how strong the Velcro is. And yeah, definitely cop them. He's a great dude. I know he brought back the Elite helmet that everyone's been asking me about for years. This is that super low profile, beautiful helmet. that is still certified and safe. And there's a bunch of new colorways that look so sweet in these, as well as a few pro helmets. There's one for CJ, there's one for Miri Munoz, and there's one for Ricardo Lino, and I'm sure there's a bunch more. And then I had this one linked to me. It's the Fook frame, which is a prime frame wall inspired by the Mook frames, right? So if there's any of you crazy ass freestyle skating dudes still left out there, you can definitely check these out and try them out. They look like something I would never ever want to skate myself, but I know people love the Mook frame, man, right? Hopefully this leads to a recreation of that. And once again, I want to quickly thank my Blade News correspondents. I forgot to mention in the last few Blade News, which is so messed up. They've really helped me out. Have been holding me down. So massive thank you to Matt, Palmer, Rosie's Boy, Sonic Sports, and Tice for holding me down, as well as the rest of my patrons and members. I've spent the last 2 days now working on this video. So please let me know if you got some value out of it, and it would mean a lot to me to know that this was worth the pain and suffering I went through trying to highlight everything happened from the other side of the world. I'm going to remind you right now too that the next event coming up is Bitter Cold Showdown, and that's going to be live streamed from iRollerboots channels. Make sure you check that out. I'll definitely be in the chat that day. I'll also be live probably tomorrow when you see this, picking the winner of the Lace Mizu Challenge. You can still buy these shirts, by the way. They're proven to help you land better Mizus, I swear. It's the coolest shirt and it supports me a shit ton. And yeah, I'll see you in the stream for that. Make sure you're there. I'd love to see you. Thank you so much for watching this video though, and I hope you get to go for a skate today. You're the best. Peace out.